This 1983 Porsche 944 purchased new by the current owner's late father has since remained registered in Washington, powered by a 2.5-liter inline-four paired with a 5-speed manual transaxle. The car is finished in platinum metallic over tan leather upholstery. Equipment includes 15-inch Fuchs alloy wheels, a sunroof, pop-up headlights, fog lights, power windows, a Sony stereo, and air conditioning. Gifted to the current owner in 2022, this 944 is offered on consignment by Bring a Trailer with the owner's manual, service records, clean Carfax report, and clean Washington title. It's on Bring a Trailer. What a car! I don't know how James gets these cars, but they're always the cleanest possible example you could find of a car. This is a base 944, not a turbo. It does not have power steering, and let me tell you folks, it's heavy at low speeds. Basically just parking lots. Once you get going even 2 miles an hour, it's perfectly fine to live with. But it truly is an amazing car. I mean, it has the original Fuchs wheels on it. They look gorgeous. Silver dish with the black on the inside. Pirelli tires. It's a hatchback. It's rear-wheel drive. It's got a front-engined inline-four. What more could you ask for? A little bit about the 944. Okay, the 1983 944 is a legendary front-engine, rear-drive sports car that marked a massive turning point for Porsche. Launched in the U.S. market for the 1983 model year. I did not know that. This is a launch year car. Okay. It was designed to bridge the gap between the entry-level 924 and the flagship 928, ultimately becoming one of Porsche's most successful sales hits of the 80s. Here's a comprehensive overview of this classic transaxle sports car. Engine and performance. Unlike its predecessor, the 924, which used an Audi source engine, the 944 featured a true Porsche heart. Engineers essentially took the all-aluminum V8 from the 928 and cut it in half. I had no idea. 2.5-liter inline-four, naturally aspirated, 143 horsepower at 5,500 RPM, torque 137 foot-pounds at 3,000 RPM, 0 to 60 in 8.3 seconds, top speed of 130 miles per hour. The balanced shaft innovation. Because a large 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine is inherently prone to harsh vibrations, Porsche licensed a patented twin balance shaft technology from Mitsubishi. This made the engine run incredibly smooth, mimicking the feel of a six-cylinder. Mitsubishi! How about that? Ha-ha! Learn something new every day. Okay. Handling and drivetrain. The defining characteristics of the 1983 944 is the transaxle layout. The engine sat in the front, but the transmission, either a 5-speed manual or a 3-speed automatic. What do you think this has? The 5-speed manual, yes! Weight distribution, a near-perfect 50-50 front-to-rear balance suspension, independent McPherson struts in the front and semi-trailing arms with torsion bars in the rear. Steering, manual steering was standard for the early 1983 models. Power steering became a common option later, offering telepathic unfiltered road feedback. Interesting. Okay, so in 83, in the early ones, you could find some that didn't come with the option. So I would imagine this being an 83, this has got to be an incredibly rare version of this car. Okay, braking, four-wheel ventilated disc brakes. You got to love that. 944 took the basic silhouette of the 924 and pumped it full of steroids. I'm not kidding you. That's what Google Gemini just said. Pumped it full of steroids, giving it an aggressive muscular stance that defined 1983 aesthetics. Okay. Thanks, Gemini. Exterior featured blistered fenders, widened boxy wheel arches inspired by the limited production 924 Carrera GT. I've never heard of the 924 Carrera GT. I'll have to look that up. Pop-up headlights, a quintessential 1980 sports car staple. Rear spoiler, just came through rubber spoiler, framing the glass rear hatch. Wheels, standard 15-inch cookie cutter alloy wheels. Fuchs were a highly coveted option. So these don't have the cookie cutter. They have the Fuchs. Wow. Interior features, the 83 model featured the early dashboard design, which lasted until the mid-1985 refresh, characterized by 3 separate yellow and black instrument gauges and a more utilitarian retro layout. While it has a 2+2 steering configuration, the rear seats are notoriously tight and best used for extra luggage space. I'll tell you what, folks, this car does not need any additional luggage space. There is so much luggage space, I'm telling you. Curb weight, 2,700 pounds. Wow, fuel economy, 20 city, 27 highway. How about that? Today, the 83 944 is highly sought after by vintage enthusiasts who prefer the lighter, more mechanical feel of the early cars. If you're looking to buy one, keep these factors in mind. Early style dashboards are highly prone to UV cracking over time. Well, this doesn't have any cracking. No, maybe a little bit of cracking up there. It did come with a cover, a dashboard cover. Pretty cool. All right. I think we'll do a quick little exterior look of the car. Okay, so as I mentioned, this has the optional Fuchs wheels, which as you can see are gorgeous. They're on these Pirellis. I wonder what the date code is on these. Pretty crazy. It does have the front impact bumper, which is so much better integrated than some other cars, namely the Mercedes and the BMWs that looked tacked on. You know, Porsche was like that. They were keeping an eye on the US market in terms of safety and things that US regulations would be bringing forward. Think, for instance, the fact that they released a Targa because there had been a rumor that the United States was going to ban all convertible cars, so they made a Targa that had essentially a roll hoop. Now, I think the best view on this is sort of the boxed out fender flares, which I have to say probably predated the M3, a very similar styling element that you would see on the M3, kind of boxed fenders. I think they look fantastic here. So you get them boxed on both ends. Wow, look at that. So I don't know if you can tell, but it just has that sort of hourglass silhouette. Not overstated, but very gorgeous. Now, the rear three-quarter view, you get a great look at that incredible look. We'll start up front with the engine. Now, as you can see, there's that look. And, you know, it being offset to the left like that does make me kind of think it is kind of half a V8. I wonder, is that really what Porsche did? Now let's take a look at the interior here. So first off, you can see you do have the double locks. I forget what the deal with the double locks is, but essentially for added security. And then here's your door handle. It has original Porsche floor mats, which are in gorgeous condition. You know, this one owner car, effectively, one family has owned it. The color scheme, the brown on tan, it looks great. It's held up miraculously well. There is some cracking up here on the dash. I don't know if you can see that. There is a bit of cracking. But anyway, let's go through and take a look, shall we? So we've got our door panel here. We have your standard. Does not remind me of a Porsche. Honestly, reminds me of my mother's 1988 Toyota Corolla. A plastic door handle, but, you know, it was an entry-level sports car. Oh my gosh. Is this how you adjust the mirrors? That must be the mirror adjust down there. You've got your windows up and down switching here. You've got a louver here to the left. Let's start her up real quick and let's get the headlights on. And they pop right up. This is what everybody wants to see, right? The pop-up headlights. That's what I'd want to see. So cool. Amazing. You have your, I don't know what that beep is. It's some kind of alarm system, a mobilizer. It was the 80s. Who knows? They don't want Charlie Sheen stealing the car.
What about this one? Not too shabby, huh?
Nah, Italian trash. Besides, I only steal Porsches. Like that one. Come on.
For anyone who's seen the movie. So if you look, you've got your 3 gauges on the center. You've got your speedometer with your odometer and your trip. On the right, unbelievably, you have a miles per gallon gas gauge. I don't know why. And then you have a tachometer that sweeps downwards in a clockwise fashion. Not not your typical sweep up. Then on the left, you have a gas light, battery light, parking light, turn signal indicators, your oil level, coolant temperature. Down here, you've got what appears to be oil pressure and then a clock. And these kind of point downward, which is interesting. Now, this is fascinating because this is what adjusts your temp on your air conditioning. And then this is your fan speed for your air conditioning, okay? And then down here, for whatever reason, got your position of where the air is coming out, and then you have your temperature, and I'm guessing this is the heater element itself. Yep, and that's separate from the air con. Fascinating, the early days of air conditioning. What I guess is high beams right there. You have your cigarette lighter right here, the original cigarette lighter. Not a lot of those standing. And then this is what I was talking about before. This is the aftermarket stereo. Unfortunately, the owner's daughter was not able to locate the original radio, even though she is adamant that her father has it. Okay, so over here, what do we have here? Looks like maybe how you adjust. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, is this how they do it? Okay. So it's one control switch that you flip to adjust your power mirrors. Fascinating. Oh my gosh. Is this the rear wiper? Tell me it's the rear wiper. Well, there is a rear wiper. I don't. Yes, it is. Amazing. Fabulous. Okay. Folks, we're learning all sorts of things. And then I wonder, is this the volume knob for the original radio? All right, moving on to the glove box. Just your standard glove box of the day with some correspondence from the original owner. Moving down to the center console here, you have a true ashtray. And then, oh my God, what am I looking at? Is this a tape holder? Are these to hold cassette tapes? I believe they are. That is so cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It would hold 6 cassette tapes. That is amazing. Oh, and it's very soft and plush on the underside there. Okay. This car does come with an original Porsche 944 Owner's Workshop Manual. It's fascinating. And then there's some Pelican parts printouts from 2014. I'm guessing the owner was doing some work on there. I mean, you can go through this. Free shipping. Look, rear lid and shock. The owner was so fastidious in the work that they've done on this car. Look at that. Man, it would be amazing if you could get these kind of books today, but unfortunately you cannot. Haynes, the book. As you can see, there is a minuscule back seat for, I don't even think small children would fit back there, to be perfectly honest with you, but I guess technically it is a rear seat with not 3-point harness, just a 2-point, so just a belt harness, lap harness. Okay, let's take a look at the back seat, shall we? Oh, I should have mentioned, you've got your gear selector here in the center, which, while looks very weird, is actually quite ergonomic. I've always thought this shifter was, frankly, ugly. But this is my first time actually using one, and it is very comfortable. Very comfortable. Well done, Porsche. Okay, and then down here on the left-hand side, you do have your parking brake. Now, it's not like a Lamborghini where it will go down after you've lifted it up, but it is still there nonetheless. Okay. To access the back seat, you have one of these levers on both seats. As you can see here, you've got your lap belts. And so you have your 2 seats, but just like a 911, the rear seat folds down and it gives you additional trunk space. Okay. All right, folks, I'm gonna put on a camera on my head so I can take you through what we have going on in the trunk, because there's some fascinating little tidbits, bits and bobs. Okay, I'll be right back. Maybe I should get some other cameras. Okay, do I look cool or what? Look at my crazy hair. So to access the trunk, you have a key in, and then the entire thing lifts up. I love how the rear wiper mechanism and everything comes out like that. Okay, so in the back here, we have a few items. So you have obviously your extremely expansive trunk. And if you were to fold down the seat like I did just a moment ago, huge. There is a parcel cover, so a cargo cover, which my understanding is should retract itself, but it does not. Maybe that's something that can be fixed on this particular car, but there are black clips down here that you would put the parcel shelf, the parcel cover into. Now, I imagine that it's this long because you can use it to cover your belongings back here, even if you have the rear folded down. So, that then begs the question, what is this thing? There is some sort of leather cover thing. I have yet to be able to find the answer online what it is, but this thing here unfolds and it has a zipper that goes around, not the full width of whatever this cover is, but only around 2 of the 4 sides. And if you open it up, J.H. Beneke. I am not sure what this is. I'm just gonna roll it back up here. And for now, I'm going to place it in the back seat because there are some interesting things back here. There are not 1, but 2 side compartments. 1 side compartment here and 1 side compartment here. Let me just take some of this stuff out for you. This car comes with its original Porsche clear bra. In the 80s, this was like a thing people bought. And this is the Porsche branded clear bra that fits on the front of the car. Not only that, it has Velcro for the pop-up headlights. Okay? We're just gonna place this on. And so this, I imagine, would go underneath here, and then it goes around the side like so. So this has the original clear bra. And frankly, it would be tight. But you can see, look, the Velcro comes up so that you can pop up the pop-up headlights. You're never gonna find one of these again. And look, you can roll it up. So if you're driving it during the day only, then you can keep it down. And then if you're driving it at night, you can roll it up. And so I don't know if this is actually where it's been living, but I placed it in there just for this review. Now let's look at the other side. There are some other things like this singular wing mirror cover made out of, I would assume not real leather, I would assume vinyl, but you never know. Here, let's put that over here with the rest of the bra. And then there is this black pouch. I don't know what went in this black pouch, but something did, and it was a button snap pouch. All right, we've got another really fun one. I have been looking forward to putting this on. Hold that for a second. I suspect this goes over the steering wheel. Move my sunglasses here. And then you can just place this into the crevice between the window and the top of the dash. How freaking cool is that? A sun shield for the inside here. How freaking cool is that? Are you kidding? That's amazing. It covers the whole thing up. When are you gonna find another one of these? a sun shield for your Porsche 944 for an 83, a first model year 944. Now, the last thing is, you might be wondering, it was the 80s, probably came with a spare tire. It did, in fact. So behind here are a number of button snaps. Hopefully you can see that. So you snap these buttons, and then you're able to fold up the entirety of the back here. What do we have back here? We have a booster cable, Cobra 644, manufactured in Westbury, New York. This was purchased for $3.77 when this stuff was still made in America. Okay, what else do we have? We'll save that for a second. We also have this Motorist First Aid 1909 Rolls Royce. Now, we did some Googling, and this was a thing that was not from, this is apparently made in England, but it was not made in 1909. This is a thing from the 60s, these first aid kits. But you can see Krella Products Limited from Manchester, okay? Elastic, Krella, adhesive dressings. Okay, and then you got Krella of Manchester absorbent cotton wool and other fibers. You have your spare tire, a Space Master 16515, made by Verdister. And then the last thing is the toolkit. Now, I don't see any Porsche branding on this particular roll, but here you are. Look, you've got, what do we see here? Germany, Hopway. This is so cool. I'm having such a fun time. Can you guys tell? It would appear as though, yes, there is a double-sided. This is made by Fellow of West Germany, with a patent and all. And then what do we have here? We have maybe another sort of lug nut, or I should say lug bolt, because this is a German car. I don't know what any of these tools are for, but they're cool. Wow, look at this. A spring-loaded, so this must be your lug wrench. You've got a double-sided Heiko wrench there, and some sort of pin. And so, yeah, there you go. That's the look at the interior and all of the stuff that comes with this car. It's a time capsule. The owner was such a fastidious owner, he just kept everything. Okay. Oh, now it's party time. Oh my God. You know what I never did? Never did the sunroof. Oh my God. The whole thing just comes out. The sunroof comes out. Well, you know, I can't leave without actually doing it. I can't. It's gotta be done. All right. So, we're in here. We gotta unlock these two, unlock these back here, rotate them so that they don't catch. And then, gracefully, you pull out, I kid you not, your body panel of your sunroof. Oh my God. This, I bet I know what it is. Is this that size? Did I just figure it out? Okay, so remember this bag that was rolled up here? This is the sunroof storage bag. The thing about the storage bag is that there's only one way it fits in. So the body panel has to be down, and you have to have what appears to be the wider end at the bottom zipper side. So you open this up and you're able to pull this piece down. Now the inside is very, very soft. So you're not scratching your sunroof panel. But there you have it. That's how it works. I cannot believe that that's what this was. We're really getting deep. We're getting so deep on this. Okay. And that slots in. And there you go. Okay, so now that we've got it in place, you're able to get this tab here and pull. So you have to rotate this bit around. I really appreciate that these are leather wraps. They don't scratch anything. Here's your button snap. And then you pull here, and then your sunroof is installed. Bum, ba, da, ba, 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 ba. Woo! We're back at 16 by 9. All right. Oh, fires right up every time. She's a beauty. Let's freaking go, people. Let's go. You thought this was going to be one kind of review, and then it turns out it's an accessories review. You know what? I'm too hot. Tell you what, got sweaty doing that top removal. Parking brake. Headlights are on. Walter Roll must have been really strong to drive these cars. No power steering. The 944. I love it. I love this color. Got the heel toe mostly. Great ground clearance. Very supple and communicative, this transmission here. I love it. It's so heavily weighted, the steering, when you're at slow speeds, but then once you get going, it's like not a problem. This car just wants to go, go, go. Brakes are good. This is truly enjoyable. I gotta get a German car from the 80s, I think. After driving that 280 and now this thing, I've got the race box here, and I think it's gonna be tough to get that 8.3 seconds 0 to 60. It doesn't have a particularly interesting engine note, it being a inline 4. I gotta look up more about that Mitsubishi technology that they use to balance it. Here we go. It handles, it took the turn. I would call the steering muted. So muted, for what that's worth. Wasn't really giving me a lot of feedback. It wasn't understeering or oversteering. Understeer. Yeah, the car is understeer. Man, it's fun to ring out though, and it likes to drive at high revs. It does not get bogged down. Chirping the tires. All right, we've got a fix. We're gonna go for a launch. Chirping those tires. 9.96 seconds. See if we can improve on that. 9.84, so slight improvement. Driving any manual transmission car, especially if you haven't driven that particular car, it takes some time to kind of dial the launch in, how many revs you want to give it. I don't want to put a lot of stress on it. This car is for sale. Up on Bring a Trailer. It's up on Bring a Trailer. Ultimately not a drag racer. Like this thing, it likes to get revved out. And it understeers a bit, as I mentioned. But it loves to corner. Actually, on that last set, it didn't really understeer. Here's really where it's going to tell me if it's going to understeer. Here on my 180-degree turnaround. All right. There we go. We got the green. All right, let's see how she does. Going to keep it in second. Wow, okay. Didn't understeer there. It understeered on corner entry and then was neutral through the second apex. Wow. I mean, it's a handful trying to get it under control without power steering when you're under braking like that. You're loading up the front tires, and so it was difficult to turn, but my goodness, neutral there mid-corner. Yeah, it's got a lot of lock from one end to the other. This car is so much fun to drive. Boy, does it like to be driven. Yeah, this is a shuffle steer car for sure, just based on the amount of pressure you've got to put to get the car to turn. Missed the heel toe. So what I'm doing is, to get the car to rotate, I'm shuffle steering and it's working, and then it's not really understeering any longer. I think it's just a muscular thing. If I was a stronger guy, you know, if I was Walter Roll with those big German muscles, is Walter Roll German? You gotta assume. Bumpy road test, not very bumpy. This thing works it. It works it. I'm going over, this is the bumpy road section. I'm going over, absolutely no issues with bumps. Yep, got the heel toe there. I mean, not super clean, but got it. I guess we'll go down, we'll go past the shop, and we'll come back around. My conclusions on this automobile. This 944, 1983 944, turns out, I learned today, just as you did, that the 944, this was the first model year for the 944 in the United States. And so, because of that, it has some interesting things about it that didn't follow it, that make it more rare. The lack of power steering, the upright dashboard as compared to the one that was redesigned for 85, the lack of power steering, the Fuchs wheels as an option. I am into this car big time. And I can't believe that a car that is, 40 years old at this point, is still such a great driver. It drives, with the exception of the power steering, lack of power steering, it drives like a modern car does. And yeah, it understeers a bit on some corners. I think that's just driver error input-wise. More time with the car, I'd be able to get better at it, but easy enough to heel-toe downshift. And so this is a driver's car. You're going to get into a Porsche, a vintage Porsche that is serviceable, that is relatively reliable, certainly reliable for its age. You're able to get into a Porsche at this price point. We're talking sub 20,000. I think this is a $40,000 car. It's $40,000 worth of fun. I'll tell you that. It's a bargain. It is a bargain. This car is so cool. I'm just doing laps now because I don't want to take it back and hand the keys in. I'm loving it. All right, we're gonna try to really get it here. Yeah, oversteer on the exit, corner exit. Okay, we got it to oversteer, folks. All right, yes. Wow. I don't know what else to tell you. It's beautiful, it's fun. This car's got all these accessories. The owner, single family owned car. The owner was fastidious. I mean, this is a hell of a car. A hell of a car. Check out Bring a Trailer. Bid on this. You will be happy. Wow. I am stoked. And with that, I'd like to thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.